Top of the morning, my name is Edward Farrell and today we are going for our next black border, and today we are going for the map middle of the road. Here we go again with Sauda. I think recently I don't have all that much time to play, but I want to keep a daily upload schedule, and recently I also think I have done a little bit of a vlogging series out of this with balloons in the background, not the other way around, where balloons could be the, say, heroes of our story. I will go with Boomerang Monkey in here. You know, for now I just think it's gotta be the way it is. I've been recently sharing a little bit about my situation, regardless all of my family members' health issues, and just as a quick recap, my grandmother is currently dying out of cancer. She might die any day. And then my grandfather was took for surgery where he was in critical condition. There was a chance he wouldn't live through that surgery, but fortunately he was able to. However, his condition was also bad after the surgery. He had problem with ulcers. They popped, no pun intended, and unfortunately I believe the liquid from it, you know, I'm just kind of saying it as I understood it, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm just gonna give you a general sense of it, so when somebody understands the medical language and will notice that I'm speaking something exactly not right, have a little bit of understanding. So the ulcers popped, and unfortunately the liquid from it, I believe, or from some infection that is related to that, spread all over the organs, and it is, generally speaking, a very tough situation for a young body with a very good condition, but for someone who is elderly with unfortunately weak body, this is almost a certain death, and it will be a matter of time. And the doctor have said to me that the probability of surviving is extremely low, and that we should take into the account the fact that my grandfather can pass away any day now, which is the very same situation that my grandmother is in at the very moment, and they simultaneously kind of waiting for a certain death. Well, there is nothing we can do. And for last, I think 3 months, 2 or 3 months, the time is kind of different when you take care of someone. I was helping my grandmother and my grandfather meets the end, and I took care of them. And the situation with my grandmother, we know it was tough, and we knew it would end up in a death sooner or later, but it was a gradual build-up of things constantly getting a little bit worse. But with my granddad, no one was in the least expecting that. It was out of nowhere. In Monday, like, I'm not saying literally Monday, but as an example, in Monday everything is fine, and then in Thursday you're in critical condition, and Friday you have a surgery, and then the next day, regardless of you surviving the surgery, which was dangerous within itself, you're still awaiting the worst. Today I had a chance to talk with my granddad, because he have woken up from the surgery, because yesterday it was still under the question mark whether he will wake up and when he will wake up, but he did, and the only thing that we can is to visit him, which is in a place where he's staying, to our window for visits only, and we can just talk and say our goodbyes, if anything. Something that really grinds my gears is the fact that he didn't leave his last will, and he wanted to do that. So if I can say anything to anybody who's elderly yet in good condition and you have desire to live your last will, do not put it off, because you might just live to regret it, hopefully not. You know, there is two sides of the story in here, because on one hand my granddad was very close with my grandma, and everybody was worried how he's gonna adapt to it and how he's gonna go through it, because when we knew the grandma is very likely passing away, he was in very bad condition, he was very worried. So the kinda, in a very weird way, he will not have to live without her the rest of his life. You know what I mean, right? Like, let's assume that in alternative universe he would live for another 10 years or so. 10 different years than you have lived through your entire life. There's no company, there is no small talk between you and her, there is no jokes, there is no drinking coffee together, eating breakfast together, having dinner, having fights. You know, it's also part of building human relationship. So in a very weird, messed up way, there is something good about it, that they going out of this world together, even though you don't want that necessarily to happen. I tell you what, one thing that is kind of tough for me is like looking at his jumper here and there, or just looking at their stuff. I think it's way tougher for me with my granddad passing away, and the reason for that is because my grandmother was really tough and it happened gradually, where we knew potential death is coming, and with my grandfather everything seemed to be fine, and then within a span of couple of days, click. And like that, everything went south. You know, funny thing about this primary monkey strategy is just if you don't greed all that much, you can go a little bit brain dead and just talk about stuff. And I don't know, talking about stuff at times helps. You know, but still, after my granddad woke up, he had his sense of humor. He said, what did they cut out of me? And we told him that they were messing in the stomach. And he said, whoa, take that and make a soup. He was very thirsty. And we asked whether we can give him a little bit of drink, and they say absolutely not, he shouldn't drink anything. And the first thing he said, fuck this doctor, what does he know? You know, just give me the drink. If he's a good doctor, he would give me a drink. And then he said, well, you know what, actually I'd rather have a pint, you know? So jokes on him, hey? We're missing some mob damage to have a smooth 90s, right? Most likely. Map eliminator is gonna be good. What am I adding on top of that? Probably glue gunner just to slow them down. And if not a glue gunner, then boomerang monkey? Or do I want just 50 of glaive lord? It says that it glaives now rip through mob class balloons, but I'm not sure how good of a choice he is versus mob class balloons. Oh, I know what we're missing. The best tower in the game, of course. Alchemist, and maybe let's just stick to the gameplay for the rest of this run. I want probably 2, right? And outside of that, what am I doing? Am I adding attack or am I adding this thing? I think I'm adding this thing and bottom path, and I think I'm gonna go for these bigger blobs just to maximize the chance of him hitting DDTs. Alright, I don't think I'm going for super glue. We're gonna go for glaive lord and hope that we will not live long enough to regret it. Right, fortified ZOMG, that's fine. Or maybe better than this glaive lord is just multiple cannons with mob damage. Alright, 99, we're fine versus that. And now purple friend. I probably should spend my money, but I'm not going to. Then there we go, easy game. Primary monkeys for the win. My god, we need to switch it up soon, but recently my days are very dense and I cannot really afford to do multiple runs per day, so I hope you understand. If yes, thank you very much. If not, unfortunately, I'm sorry, and if you enjoyed the episode, leave a like and subscribe. Bye bye.